Hi guys, it's Kendra from Crafty Kendra, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing we're going to do is bring in a scrap piece of ivory confetti paper and our bold snowflake stamp, which is a new single stamp from Stampin' Up, and it's only here until January 2nd, 2013. I'm also going to grab my Bashful Blue ink pad. Just going to try to get it a little fuller. In fact, I'm just going to bring in my Stamp-A-Majig and put it up against my stamp so that I can stamp it a few more times in the exact same place because I want it to be really, really dark. There we go, just like that. Set my ink and my stamp aside. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Blossoms punch and punch out the snowflake. Okay, just like that. I'm gonna set that aside for a second. Gonna get out the rest of my supplies. We have 2 pieces of the confetti ivory cardstock, and I have them cut both at 4 inches by 5 1/4. What we're gonna do is grab our Sahara Sand ink pad and a sponge topper, and we're going to sponge both of these pieces on the sides. Alright, now that I've finished sponging both of those, I'm going to bring in our Cherry Cobbler ink pad and set one of those pieces aside so that I can stamp our greeting, which is wishing you Christmas cheer and a Happy New Year. This stamp is from the Happy Hour stamp set. So what we're going to go ahead and do is get that centered here. So I already have a permanent image sheet for this made on vellum cardstock. Just going to use my Stamp-A-Majig and get my greeting exactly where I want it. And just like a snowflake, I'm going to stamp it more than once to make sure that it is really nice and dark. We are done with those, so we're just going to take them and set them aside. Our card base is an 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 piece of Cherry Cobbler, scored at 4 1/4 to give us a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. We're going to go ahead and take our snail and put it on our piece that we've sponged and put our greeting. I'm just going to adhere that to the inside of the card. Just like that, and we'll set our card base aside. Here I have a piece of Designer Series paper. It is cut to 3 1/4 by 3 7/8. This paper pack is in our current 2012 holiday seasonal catalog. It's Festival of Prints Designer Series paper. It measures 4 1/2 inches by 6 1/2, and it has a whole bunch of wonderful patterns. You get 4 sheets of each pattern, and they are double-sided. So we're going to go ahead and use the side that's blue. I'm just going to adhere a little bit of snail to the back and bring back in my other piece of excuse me, confetti ivory cardstock. centering it towards the top. Just gonna press it down. Gonna grab my cherry cobbler quilted satin ribbon. Now this is retired. We had it last year in our holiday catalog. Something that's current that would look great is our cherry cobbler seam binding. So I'm going to use this because this is what I have on hand. I'm going to go ahead and just tie a knot. On my first card I tied a bow, and this one I'm going to tie a knot so you can see the difference. And if you want to know how to tie a knot, I do have a knot tying video. Alright, just gonna scoot the knot all the way over to the right side. Trim the edges. Just like that. Here we go. Alright, here I have a piece of cherry cobbler. It measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. We're going to take our snowflake that we stamped and punched and adhere it inside the square. I like to make sure that I put it at a little bit of an angle. The next thing we're going to do is take our paper piercer, and I couldn't find my paper piercing mat, so I'm just going to hold it and pierce a hole in the center of the snowflake and put a red Glimmer Brad in there, and it's from the Bright's Glimmer Brad pack. Use my paper piercer just to open them up and flatten it out. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our dimensionals, put one in each corner. So that we're ready. Take the backing off, we'll just set it aside. I'm going to go ahead and flip this piece over and attach our snail to the back. Make sure we get our bow placed right where we want it. Bring back in our card base. We're just going to center it onto the front of the card base, like that. Grab our snowflake. There we go. So here is the card that we made with the knot. Here's my sample with the bow. I hope you guys enjoyed, and please stay tuned for more Christmas card tutorials. That's all I have for you guys today. Thank you.